Okay, so there is a difference between the chassis here due to the different front ends that REVOSLOT has created. They've created different chassis plates here, okay, as you can see with the shape. Chassis plate A and B, and all it is this different front end configuration. Everything else is the same. So not a major change, but it's great attention to detail to make two different versions. There's a lot of slot car companies that would not even dream of doing this, and they did it. So hats off to REVOSLOT again for kind of leading the way in some innovation here. So anyway, that's the difference. And of course, they are the same wheelbase, so we're just discussing the differences, but that front end shape right there on those chassis plates are the only difference. They are identical wheelbase. So they're gonna run right together as they should. Okay, time for a little tech data for those of you that like that kind of thing. I just want to talk about the chassis again. It is the aluminum anodized chassis. Nothing's changed here except for the front plates that we talked about. The motor is the 21,000 RPM motor. I have bench tested these motors and they're pretty close. Most of them are about 21.7, 21.8. So that's about as accurate as it gets for a label in this hobby anyway, so pretty close to that. I don't change the motor. It's more than enough for my track. Some people do. I have no reason to, so I will not. As far as tires go, I'm going to be using the Quick Slicks TS43. It really fits these wheels just about as perfect as you could ask for. All of my cars are using these tires and the RS75s for the older wheel, but these are TS43s. That's what I'll be using here. As far as mechanical changes, I'll do nothing. That's the beauty of these cars. Just make sure that you lubricate the bearings here, maybe a little bit on each end of the motor, and of course make sure you put a little bit of lubrication on your gears. I like to use a little, just a little bit of grease, not a whole lot. You don't want it slinging everywhere. Any other modification? Well, probably just the guide for the wood track. The instructions say this is a 9mm, but it's not. It's an 8mm, but it's still deep enough, works well enough on my track. Actually, the stock guide works well, but I just go ahead and swap it out because they have it in the bag. As far as any other tech data is concerned, I'll make a graphic that shows you all the measurements that I've taken. You can refer to that later. The gearing, again, is the same as it's always been, 12 to 33. You know, the overall weight of the car is about 106 grams. That's not bad. But anyway, I'll have the tech data graphic up here so you can use it for reference, and I'll have it in the permanent review. So anyway, not much else to talk about here. These cars are just pretty solid, very, very precise as far as the wheels go. I haven't had a bad one yet. Few people might have. I've seen a few comments, but overall, I have no complaints about the components in these cars. All right, time to button them up and let's do some road testing.